Your brain isn't running out of willpower. It is being quietly sabotaged from the outside. Every single object in your room is running a toxic background script, draining your cognitive battery until you inevitably crash. Here is the terrifying system error you've been ignoring. When you look back at the mechanics of your daily mental exhaustion, a terrifying truth emerges that nobody wants to admit. Welcome to Less is More. You aren't failing from a lack of discipline. You are trapped inside a invisible, poorly configured system that is silently destroying your potential. Modern culture has aggressively conditioned us to believe that abundance equals freedom, forcing your brain to run heavy, resource-intensive background scripts just to survive the day. Every unorganized item on your desk, every stray notification, and every open tab acts as a corrupted file that quietly drains your prefrontal cortex's battery capacity. Your visual cortex is being forced into a brutal multi-front war, slitting your cognitive bandwidth before you even attempt to focus on what matters. If you enjoy unraveling these hidden layers of human psychology with me, hit subscribe right now to help support the channel's future journey. This mental drain is an exhausting personal feeling. It is a measurable, hard neurological crisis. When I started digging into the data, researchers at Princeton confirmed that physical clutter literally battles for your scarce attention. Your visual cortex gets so completely overwhelmed processing every stray input in your room that your actual cognitive performance drops. This is exactly why true minimalists are clearing their spaces. They are desperately debugging their environment to reclaim their processing power. Every single object sitting in your view is constantly demanding a micro decision, silently asking if you still need it or where it belongs. Fewer objects simply mean fewer exhausting questions for your brain to answer. But the deeper psychological bridge I've realized is that this obsession with simplicity is actually a subconscious craving for control. In a chaotic world where you cannot fix macro events or unstable job markets, you can control your closet. It is immediate agency masquerading as simplicity. Yet this desperate struggle to reclaim our control isn't a modern reaction to the digital age. If you look back through history, ancient thinkers were already discovering that human fulfillment behaves counterintuitively. We often look at the phrase, less is more, and dismiss it as a comforting, unrealistic cliche. But philosophers like Epicurus realized that limiting our desires is the only true way to safeguard our freedom. For him, a genuinely good life didn't require expensive luxuries. It just took a loaf of bread, some water, and an honest conversation with a friend. The Stoics took this even further, voluntarily living with almost nothing to completely immunize themselves against the painful fear of losing wealth. Even the Buddha advocated for the middle path, warning us to avoid both suffocating excess and extreme deprivation. It's like refusing to gorge yourself at an endless modern buffet just to avoid the inevitable physical crash. They all understood that choosing moderation shields us from unnecessary stress. When we ignore this ancient wisdom, we fall headfirst into the modern trap of over-optimization. Psychologist Barry Schwartz calls this the paradox, where abundance paralyzes our capacity for joy. Imagine standing in a boutique ice cream shop with 100 different artisanal flavors available. Instead of feeling liberated, you spend 10 agonizing minutes analyzing options, looking for the perfect taste. When you finally choose, your expectations are so high that any ordinary flavor leaves you feeling deeply disappointed. This exact paralysis ruins our biggest life decisions, from career paths to swiping endlessly for a partner. Yet, I've noticed an even darker shadow side to this obsession with decluttering. Many people fall victim to destination addiction, using minimalism to run from the messy discomfort of being human. Sometimes your physical mess is beautiful evidence of a life actually being lived. Scattered toys mean presence, unread books mean curiosity, mismatched mugs mean irreplaceable memories. True simplicity isn't sterile emptiness, it is deliberate intentionality. To shift our focus from sterile emptiness back to deliberate intentionality, we must change our physical setup. Instead of fighting our biology with mental brute force, we can simply deploy the one input rule today. Choose your single most critical objective and clear everything from your desk except the tools required for that task. Close every unrelated digital tab and put your phone completely out of your line of sight. By engineering your environment so that the right action is your only option, your brain can finally breathe. Now, stop scrolling and look away from this screen for a single second to scan your immediate room. What object is competing for your attention the loudest right now, and what is it silently saying to you? The truth is, building a meaningful life is never about trying to manage a chaotic environment. It is about having the courage to design a simpler one. When you strip away the layers of noise, decision fatigue, and the modern illusion that more options equal more freedom, you realize that true power lies in your boundaries. We don't need another productivity app or an ironclad will to achieve our deepest goals. We simply need an environment that respects our cognitive bandwidth and protects our peace of mind. The profound lesson here is that design will always beat discipline, and your environment ultimately shapes your destiny. To apply this to your life right now, stop trying to over optimize every single corner of your existence or waiting for a perfect future version of yourself. Start small by picking just one area of your day, applying the one input rule, and allowing yourself to focus deeply on what truly matters. Protect your focus like your future depends on it, because it actually does. What is the biggest distraction on your desk or screen that you are going to clear away today? Please share your thoughts in the comments section below so we can all learn from each other's experiences. And don't forget to subscribe to Less is More to support our journey toward a lighter, more intentional life.